Hey there, Jimmy O from JoBlo, and I'm not even supposed to be here today. Oh, wait, I am. I'm here to talk Clerks III. Now, for many, Kevin Smith's indie classic Clerks became the unsung hero of those working behind the counter and in customer service, and I can still relate today. It also inspired many young filmmakers to make movies of their own. For me, I became an instant fan of the hockey jersey wearing Smith, as well as his on-screen persona of Silent Bob. And yes, I've appreciated much of what he brought to his later features. Yet I was weary about Clerks III. Dante, Randal, Jay, and his wordless sidekick Bob, how do you continue with the dick and fart jokes when all the original actors are well into middle age and maybe it wouldn't be that funny? Thankfully it was, and also, it didn't hurt to borrow from real-life adulthood fears. Nearly 30 years after we first met Dante, Brian O'Halloran, and Randal, Jeff Anderson, only minor changes have occurred for the duo. They now own the Quick Stop groceries, and apparently Jay and Silent Bob have taken over the video store, which is now a dispensary, and there's some funny stuff with that, guys. Unfortunately for Dante, he suffered a significant loss in his life, and when Randal lands in the hospital after a heart attack, the horrific Widowmaker, he questions his position in life.
Wait a minute, I had a heart attack?
As an avid movie watcher, why not make a movie of his own and tell the story of working at Quick Stop? So Randal, with their old friends, make a movie about Clerks. It's meta, and the nostalgia factor is in full effect. It's super funny. It's also kind of heartbreaking. That, it's more than kind of. It's pretty heartbreaking, guys. Now, it didn't take long for me to embrace Clerks III. When a crude comedy opens with the operatic pop-punk anthem The Black Parade by My Chem, or My Chemical Romance, it's instantly reminiscent of the killer soundtrack to the original film. And frankly, it was nice to see both O'Halloran and Anderson immediately bring their early bromance relationship back so naturally. Another treat is you'll be seeing many of the original cast members return. Randal is essentially making a Clerks movie with references to the original, well, if the original actually existed in this timeline. Even Clerks II is mentioned to an extent, most notably with the inclusion of Rosario Dawson, who is a delight here. Many favorite moments are revised, but by telling it as essentially a movie production, it adds a level of charm to Randal's latest project. The best thing about this sequel is something that shocked me. Guys, it broke my heart. It's no secret that Mr. Smith went through the very thing that Randal did, and frankly it's safe to say that if you've grown up with the Clerks universe, you've probably faced a harrowing life experience or two as well. Clerks III embraces the darker side of aging and the struggle of dealing with losing a loved one. There is honesty here. Smith has always been open about his battle and his return to health. Bringing that story to characters that many have loved gives a personal touch to the story. The last act is perhaps one of the most mature and profound moments in the director's career, honestly. Strange to say for a Clerks film, but bring tissues. Another delight from the new flick is the entertaining cameos. You have everyone from Sarah Michelle Gellar to the Impractical Jokers to Justin Long, of course, Ben Affleck, of course, Fred Armisen, and more. While the Clerksverse has grown and featured many of these before, the inclusion here felt really natural and hilarious. More importantly, the regulars are all in fine form. Smith and Jason Mewes are still a blast to watch. Dawson is luminous and wonderfully natural, and Marilyn Gigliotti is terrific, returning to the role of Veronica. And while Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson aren't known for deeply emotional moments in these flicks, it's really nice to see these characters grow a little. Look, they're probably not going to get Oscars or anything like that, but man, it was kind of heartbreaking to see O'Halloran breaking down. It put a tear in my eye, guys. Look, as a fan of Clerks, I guess I expect to have a good time, have some fun. Thankfully, I got a movie loaded with laughs, yet one that dealt with the finality of loss in an emotionally impactful way. Kevin Smith's sequel is honest, it's hilarious, and it's a joyful trip down memory lane. Similarly to this year's Top Gun Maverick, Clerks III is a loving tribute to what came before, and it has so many of the elements that made the first one work, but without becoming a repeat of what we've seen before. With an upcoming tour and release for the new film, I highly recommend any Kevin Smith fan see this one with a crowd. It's riotous, it's charming, silly, and more importantly, It just breaks your heart. Who knew 30 years later I'd still be happy to welcome Dante and Randal back into my life with open arms? If you are a fan, you are in for a damn treat. I'm giving Kevin Smith's latest, Clerks III, a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I know some of you are going to say something about that, but it's okay. You can judge for yourself when you see it. And of course, if you want to check out more from JoBlo, you can check out our reviews, interviews, news stories, everything, and you can check out our other YouTube channels. Take care, and be good to each other.